Bang! Neves Knives. I'm Jared, and today we have a new Am8 knife. Now, this one is the Gladiator. I have first impressions on this. If you do want to see it, I will pin it up here in the corner. Awesome knife, somewhat of a tactical knife in a way. And let's get into this one. I have not opened it yet, so this will be a real first impressions. I like their packaging if I don't mess it up. All right. I'm always excited to check out the MIGURON knives and the Am8 knives. They do amazing machine work. Wow, look at all that milling. Holy cow. Nice deep milling too. Very deep milling. I love micro milling. We have a carbon fiber, a shred, or a marbled carbon fiber inlay that does protrude a little bit. Let's give it its first flip. Nice jimping, or looks like nice jimping on the flipper tab. A little slippery. Ooh, nice detent though. Oh man, I love that. Yeah, this is cool. So far, man, nice ergos, beautiful blade shape. We have a multi-satin grind, so we have the satin on the flat grind, and then up here on the spine thickness, we have a nice satin that runs the other direction. Beautiful swedge. Access to the lock bar, very good access. They cut it back just a little bit, and they chamfer the edge. Detent nice and early, easy to get past. Ooh, very smooth. Ooh, hoo, 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 hoo. Nice crisp detent. Solid, the whack. Very, very solid detent. M390 steel, titanium frame lock, steel lock bar insert. It is riding on ceramic caged bearings. You can see that detent, nice large detent hole. No detent lash. Lockup is rock solid. The clip is a little shallow, but I know the clip works well. It looks like the same clip that's on the Gladiator, and they work well, but we do have quite a bit hanging out of the pocket. Well, now that's going to be good for putting it in and out of the pocket. It gives you something to grab onto, but it's not going to carry very deep. The back spacer, good looking back spacer. Looks like the same back spacer that's on the Gladiator. Beautiful landing zone, because you do want to light switch this one. This you don't really have, you can't really push button. It just, you don't get the leverage. It's not built for a push button. The flipper tab is nice and high. The point is well above the center of the pivot, so you have good leverage, good place point for your finger, and it has a nice light switch. Check out the internals. We do have a shouldered lockup on the stop pin. I'd like to see the stop pin be a little bit bigger. Let's give it a little KPL really quick, and then we'll come right back. I'll also measure the thickness behind the edge. Great thickness behind the edge, 17.5 thousandths, so under 18 thousandths. And after putting the KPL on here, holy cow, look at this. This thing got super, super smooth. If I give it any encouragement, it just drops. And I can tell this thing is going to become fall shut action. Very, very smooth. Beautifully centered. No milling on the inside. Oh no, lots of milling. Sorry, lots of milling on the inside. It has a nice weight to it. I should have known because it is nice and lightweight. The finger choil and plunge grind, they did a good job on this one. I'm happy with this. The plunge grind starts here. It looks like it ends about right there. So they did give you plenty to sharpen off. Love to see that. You technically can kind of choke up right there. A little tight. It's more of a sharpening choil than a finger choil, but hey, I'll take it, man. I like it. Because I can definitely go over the top of it for heavy-duty push cuts. Man, this thing's nice and comfortable. I feel the clip a little bit right here in the palm, but not enough to the point to where I couldn't use it all day without an issue. I'm liking this one quite a bit, guys, quite a bit. Now, this blade shape. You can get to the tip relatively well without the sacrifice of leverage. So I could easily do a utility cut. Now, obviously, on the Gladiator, I'm going to get better utility cuts. The tip is far lower, so this will be better for utility cuts. I do prefer this blade shape for everyday carry, but this is still fantastic. I mean, this will still work really good, and you have a bit more belly for, you know, things you want to use the belly for. Lots of edge here for push cuts. The grind is pretty good. It does have a pretty thick blade stack, but not overly thick. It's relatively robust while also, it kind of reminds me a little bit of a hinderer, but while being a little bit thinner behind the edge. So it's slightly robust. It'll slice really good, especially if we put a low angled edge on there. Now remember, that 17.5 degrees was on their edge angle. After I lower it back to, say, 15 to 17 degrees per side, it'll probably be about 20 thousandths behind the edge. I'm not mad at that. That's a great thickness behind the edge for a tough knife that's also a good slicer. Do I prefer thinner? Yeah, at times. I like a knife nice and thin behind the edge, but I also like a knife that's capable of being robust and slicey at the same time. This has the capabilities of putting a lower angle on it and slicing really good. Now, it's not like mega slicey. It's definitely more of a robust grind, but it will definitely slice really good. And it looks damn good. Look at that thing. That thing just looks good. Holy cow. Even in the closed the only thing, man, I hate that they did T6s, but I was going to say, even in the closed position, this thing looks really good. It's just a good looking knife. But yeah, they did T6s. I wish they would do T8s. Come on, MIGURON. Come on, Am8. Do some T8s down here. We want to see T8s across the board. Now, you see we have hidden hardware on the inside. So in order to take the clip off, you do have to take the knife apart, but it's not reversible, so... the flipper tab is a full-size flipper tab, but they made it minimal because they cut it out right here. Now, even though it is like that, man, the detent is super solid. It kicks really good. Great detent. But when it comes out this way, it's pretty minimal. Like when I go to unlock it, it doesn't take, like right there, it's on the detent. It doesn't take much to get past it. So, really cool, man. Really, really cool. The jimping now, no traction. It doesn't offer anything. I do kind of wish that the jimping wasn't so knocked down. Now, it works fine. Don't get me wrong. I like the action a lot. But it is a little bit rounded on that jimping, as you can see. It's not the sharpest jimping. I wish it wasn't as knocked down as it is. I would get a little bit more traction. If my hands were wet, this would be slippery. It works fine, though. The micro milling just, man, looks so good on a knife. I love the way micro milling looks. It really, you know, shows attention to detail, I guess. You know, the sides are nice and soft, chamfered all the way around. And then we have this micro milling only in the center that runs at an angle. It offers a nice tactile feel without being aggressive in any way. But this micro milling is nice and deep. I almost wish they would have just did it solid without the carbon fiber, but the carbon fiber does offer a little pop. I know a lot of people don't like one side. They want it on both sides. But in this case, it's subtle, you know, so I don't think it'll be that big of an issue. And because of that, that really brings down the weight. So there you guys go, man. Just a quick look at it. I'm really excited about the things that MIGURON and Am8 are doing. They're definitely pumping out some really cool knives, interesting knives, lots of milling, great designs and milling. I'd love to see, like, I think about some of the designs I'd love to see them do. And yeah, so, you know, we got a lot more coming from them. I have no doubt. And they do care about, you know, making things that not only that we want, but to the criteria we want. They do work hard. They do ask lots of questions, and they do seem to want to make us happy as much as they can. So there you guys go. I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching.